because
New tubs.
sometimes, oh, anything but the best, Aaron, you missed it all, you see.
Not bad.
Sometimes they're a little bit difficult. Get rid of the flour. Don't want floury tea towel.
Follow the tea towel.
It's all action here. Right, so what you've got is basically a hinge down there. Okay? And you can see your knife. What was that? Burping. It's like a hinge there, and you're going to basically lodge the knife in and pop it open. This is something that I first did when I was like 19 years old, and we used to sell oysters by either half dozen or dozen. And to open them to order, your fingers used to bleed sometimes. It wasn't the most pleasant thing to do on starters. It's got to be done to order. There's loads and loads of different kind of oyster recipes, whether they're going to be served raw, whether they're going to be served cooked. And we're just going to serve them, go into like a velouté, so we get the flavour of the oysters running through it. So I learnt the hard way is to get a tea towel and protect your hand. Lose limbs on this sometimes. So your oyster sits in there. Does anybody want to try and do the second one if I do the first? Okay. Hopefully I won't mess it up then. So it goes in the hinge, and it's quite a difficult thing to do. So your knife goes in the hinge, and then you start to, slowly but surely, he says, you've got to twist the knife, and it'll pop. See what I mean about tea towel being there? Sometimes they do crack. Then what you've got to do is make sure there's no shell in there.
Have gone through your hand.
Yeah, I've gone through my hands. Right, so that's the other part of the shell. It happens because sometimes they're closed tight so hard.
Is it moving?
So, no, that's not really moving. Sometimes they do move. And what we've got to make sure is all the shell's out. Now I can see how fresh this is going to be, just by obviously the experience of using them over and over again. This is not as fresh as I'd like it. Usually they're plump, and usually they're not as flat. Okay? So, we basically, that was called chucking, and then we just very gently pop this little monkey out, and there she sits. That's it.
Oysters you can just eat raw.
Yep,
Like that.
yep. But for today we're going to cook these, so we're going to very gently simmer them in velouté.
I don't think I'll be strong enough for that.
You give it a go. I saw you doing all that whisking last night. And
YouTube,
cake
here we
and
come.
You can have a batch. Yeah. So what I want you to do is I want you to cover your hands and get your knife in there. And you're going to have to be really, really strong to get into that hinge. And careful as well.
Come on.
Shut up!
No, come on. Concentrate. Time to be serious. And you kind of twist the knife once you feel like you've got a little bit in there. That's alright. Let me just do it. I think what you're going to do is, let me try and do it.
It's really hard.
It's very, very difficult. It is very, very difficult.
And you've got to do that to order.
Yep.
I bet.
So you nearly did it. Because look, I've just popped it open now. So. Yeah, you can see, you can hear it and pop open. Yeah, you did it, Frankie. You were so, so close.
That looks a bit bigger.
Yeah, a little bit juicier, doesn't it? I reckon they're a good couple of days old, so it's just as well we're going to cook them. It's worthwhile just making sure that there's no shell in there, because it's not fantastic to get a shell in a sauce. Now the shells, you could use these. I used to put things like deep fried anchovies in there to make them stay crisp and put them on the side of the plate, the main course. So it's kind of keeping into a theme of using as much as the ingredients you can do. See, in the meantime, all this risotto is starting to absorb all that stock, which is great.
Look like I didn't look impressed there, Frankie.
Not bad.
Oysters. No.
They don't look very good.
No. To describe it, it's like having a great mouthful of seawater.
Is that why you just swallow them
Yeah,
and
yeah.
don't chew them?
Going down.
Yeah. Without the nappies floating around and
Oh,
other wonderful ingredients.
I think
Okay.
they do.
So we want to turn this bad boy over and we need to prepare the salmon next.
What dish is this, by the way?
We're going to do pan-fried salmon, lobster risotto, we're going to do an oyster velouté. Is that enough?
Yep.
Yep, something like that. So I've got a fantastic, lovely piece of salmon. Like I say, with this dish here, I personally love to use wild sea trout. I think it's better. What I've got to do, I've got to take this over to the sink. And I've